Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode, I think it was last episode anyway, the war in Africa ended, and that's absolutely fantastic for us. So what that means, of course, is we can focus on this. This is a very static front. So that's, less ideal. We do have an available special project. Sure, why not? We also have this unassigned division, and let's assign him to be here. Might as well. Absolutely fine. We have a new tech we can research, and not very many things that we can research. So there's that. I'm just going through these lists here and seeing, is there anything? And the answer for now is mostly no, which isn't terribly surprising. A lot of this needs special projects. So actually, all we can do is modern rubber processing. That's literally the only choice. Okay, so that's fine. We're currently trying to push up this direction. We're pressuring hard right over here. And to that end, I do want to start getting going on some of this stuff. It's okay. So that seems fine. We're pressuring hard in Erzurum, and if we can take that, hang on. If we can take this is a huge deal. For now, I think we just need to keep the pressure up. We're continuing to pressure over this direction as well. We do have land forts going in here, so that looks good. It's going to be very, very difficult to get them, for them to dislodge us from these locations. But if we can punch them out of Erzurum, which is faltering, then this is huge. I want to get these guys assisting here. Okay, get in here. Come in. We're committing to this. I really, really, really want to take this. If we take this, if we can make it to the sea, no less, this is going to be huge. But this is their main logistics hub here. Now, they have another one right up over here, and their primary rail goes on the coast, like this. So that's understood. This is not going to be a huge, enormous breakthrough that causes the entire front to collapse or anything. I don't want to hype this up. That's not what's happening here. But what is happening is this gets us into a much better position to attack multiple targets. This allows us to use our numbers to our advantage. That's what's important here. Now, the attack is not going well right now. We're just going to keep up the pressure. Hang on. They abandoned this spot. Get in here. They're trying to come back to it. They're succeeding in coming back to it. Okay. Well, we can let that attack fail. It's fine. We just want to prove to them that they can't abandon this spot to reinforce here. We're actually really close to taking this. Look at how low their morale is. We just got it. Unless they reinforce it before we get there. We'll see. We got it. Beautiful. So we're going to want to build land forts there, for sure. But the interesting thing here is, look at the weakness that this is creating. They're attacking us here. This is exactly right. The general is doing the correct thing here and counterattacking right here. In the meantime, we're pressuring here, and Erzurum is about to fall. So this is a very, very big deal here. I also want to get all of this going, for sure. We'll do that. And I do want to get another intelligence agency operation going here, so that'll be fine. So yeah, they have significant weakness here. What I want to do right now is I'm going to move these two units right here. These guys are going to attack here. Now, this is going to be a little bit awkward here because of supplies, but it's okay. The goal here is to hold these lads here while we try to attack out over this direction. It didn't work, but that was the goal. Wait, it did work? We got immediately kicked out, but that's interesting. And Erzurum falls. Okay. That was the dream right there. I'm going to have this tank unit head here, while these 5 tank units attack here. This is looking really good right now. Get in here. Reinforce. Okay, this is looking really good. They have to defend on a much wider front now. So that spreads out their forces and makes it much more difficult for them to resist our push here. Now, these guys, they're not moving forward, and that is because of supply levels in this province. I want to check, have we gotten any new infrastructure out over this way? The answer is no. So that's understood. We're going to keep up the pressure here. We just took this position. Unfortunately for us, we do have a difficult time holding this. Let's see what happens here. We're still trying to move forces in. They don't have a lot of fight left in them. So we've held. And we are going to, of course, build land force right here. And what this gives us is we can attack this province or we can attack this province. Both of these would be devastating for them. All they have for supply up over here then is this level 1 naval base. That will give them almost no supply through this area. They've got a couple of victory points here, but that's not very relevant. So that's great. I want to just dig in to this position a little bit. We'll give this a little bit of time, particularly to build at least 2 levels of land fort right here. That's the dream. We'll see if they allow us to do that. And we're continuing to push over this direction and broaden this out. I'm okay with that. Oh, we just pushed here. That's also huge. Okay, they've reinforced it. For now, that's fine. So we're going to also dig in out over here. We have 1 level of land fort built here. They're not trying to counterattack this. So this is huge. These guys aren't moving forward as of right now, and I would like them to. Let's just move them up. Yeah, they're going to take attrition. It's understood. I just want a larger force concentration up here right now so that we can push through a little bit more easily. Okay, so here we have additional forces here, and I want these guys, like, out over here for right now, out on this flank. So the question is, are we going to take this position or not? That's a big question. Look at this, though. We've made significant gains out here. We can stack wipe these guys. They are cut off, I believe. I don't think there's a connection here. And we're almost to the coastline up here. So this is huge. We're making significant gains here. Very, very significant. So continuing to press in over this direction, if we can cut off their coastline here, then that's a very, very big deal as well. For now, though, I'm fairly content with what our generals are doing. I don't think that there's a major issue here. I do want these guys to be offensive lining simply up to here like this, and we'll just get them to head in there. These are now cut off, and these guys are starting to stack wipe. So we're just going to continue to push down and meet up over here. Now, this is still going to be a very significant choke point until we get here. I have a feeling we're going to have a hard time crossing this strait, but we can push out this direction if need be, and that's going to be the plan. Okay, so everything's looking good here. We have very significant gains happening. I want to attack right here immediately, because I see this guy retreating here. Perfect. We bought all the time we needed. And just get in here. There we go. So these guys are going to get cleaned up. No problem there. And this is pretty much collapsed at this moment. So I kind of lied. This kind of was the breakthrough that would cause this entire front to collapse, but not in the way that I thought it might. Now, these guys are retreating here. That's understood. I think we do have forces on the way in there, but I don't necessarily expect to hold it. It would be nice to hold, no doubt about it. We can build up some additional defenses there. We are actually kind of holding that. Okay, so I want these guys to punch right here. This is an awkward punch, but it's what I want. We've got 14 divisions there. Never mind. I thought there were 2. 14 is kind of more than I expected. So we do see Abkhazia with a lot of troops out over here. That's not terribly surprising. This is Abkhazia right here. It's not going to be shocking. So I do want to make sure that the supply hub that we captured right over here is motorized, and it is. Let's make sure that it is a decent level of rail connection. It is not. So we can absolutely work on that. And I wouldn't mind upgrading like this and having an additional rail path over this way. Okay, so something along the lines of that. So these guys, they're just donezo, right? We're going to be relocating these guys to the front line. And we've just about met up with these 2 fronts. So that's good, but bad at the same time. I was hoping to get all of these units encircled. That's the dream here. And the question is, how realistic do we think that is? The answer is not terribly necessarily with the amount of forces that they're moving through this little gap. So I want to launch an attack here, and I'm going to grab half of these divisions, and we're going to also attack here. I want to check in. Yeah, we've not finished up any levels there. Noted. Let's bring these guys up to here. Okay. The dream here is absolutely that these guys get cut off. This is a really awkward spot to be. I don't hate it. It's just very awkward. So I'd love to potentially attack here, actually. Let's see what we can get done up this way. So Ukraine is still at 0 manpower, right? Yes, they're still at 0 manpower. So they can't replace any of these divisions that they're losing. And let's check in on that, actually. We've lost about 10 million. They've lost about 12 million. Understood. The real question is, how close are they to wanting to end this? The answer is nowhere near. So we're going to run out of manpower eventually, and that's going to be bad for us. But they ran out of manpower long before we did. So that is noted, and I want to... We're winning this attack? That's wild. Let's keep working on that. Yeah, that's, interesting. If we take this, this is unspeakably huge. We just took this. It's over for them. They just had, how many divisions is this? This is 36, 42, 44, this is going to be 56, 57 divisions. We're just encircled. Get in here. Wipe them out. Do not allow them to attack here. We need to heavily attack right here. We need to broaden this corridor and give them nowhere to retreat. This is a devastating amount of encirclement that just happened right here. So that's great for us. Absolutely delightful. So as of right now, we're just going to get these guys pushed back over here, and with these 2 fronts joining together, we now need to get everyone that is over here to come wipe these guys. They just instantly wiped. Wow, that was fast. So if we check this now, 12.89. I think that was like 500,000 men that we just obliterated there. They've got a lot more fielded manpower than we do, by the way, and we're pretty steadily winning this war. So that's certainly noted. So at this point, we've got all of these infantry units that are not really set up for this. So what I want to do at this point is I want to kind of reorganize our army groups. So we've got this guy here. This is a tank unit. I'm going to pull this out here for now. So all of these tank units I'm going to pull out, and we're going to leave just infantry division or infantry armies here. Okay, so we've got 6 infantry armies and 3 tank armies. So I'm going to attach 1 tank army here. I'm going to attach 2 tank armies here. Okay. Actually, I'm going to attach... Hang on. No, all you guys stay here. I'm going to attach 2 tank armies here, like this. So this tank army is here. One of these tank armies is, I think... What did I just do here? Oh. These are all supposed to be in an army group here. I accidentally combined the army groups. Did not intend to do that. Okay, so we'll do something like this. And this army group is going to be kind of the reserve army group, while these are going to be the not reserve army group for now. So these guys, they are going to delete all orders. And we're going to have them have an area defense that's just down over here for right now. So we'll have them be, I don't know, something like this. That'll be okay. So most of these guys are going to move up. The rest of these, I'm going to delete these existing orders. The rest of these are going to be frontlining here, like this. But I want these two to have their own front line. So both of these are going to be frontlining. Why did it put it there? No, don't do that. Armenia should be part of this war, right? On our side? Yes. Okay, I don't know what's up with that. But I want to put this up over here, like this, and then I want to do the same thing with this army. Now, we could do this as actually a separate army group, and actually, I think that does make sense to do. So we'll do that like this. So we'll give this a field marshal. That'll be this guy. And that's going to be frontlining like this. Then what we can do is we can actually get these guys sorted like this. So this is going to be an infantry army, and this is going to be a tank army out over here. So we've got these 2 units here that are still going to be idle. And these are this is a tank army here. So this tank army should be part of this army group. All of these guys should be part of this army group. So all of our tank units are part of this army group. And most of our infantry units at this moment are part of this army group. This is our reserve here, and we don't have much that we're going to be holding in reserve at this moment. So with that reorganization done, we're going to get into position here. I want to make sure that this entire area is dug in. We don't need to do all of this. We just need to do here. Let's check infrastructure. Oh yeah, there's definitely some infrastructure to be built up here. So we'll get that done. Okay, now this is our tank group here. Their goal for now is to offensive line up to specifically right here, like that. Keep in mind that Golden Horde here, they are not part of this war. So we have to go up through this narrow corridor, and that's going to be a bit problematic. But we'll get started on that. Now, the infantry at this moment are not actually attacking here. The infantry are purely on the defensive at this moment. And that's understood. So we'll bring in what we can, but supply limits are going to be a little bit rough. I do want to make sure that this is ready to go, and I want to check the rail network out over this direction. It actually looks pretty okay. Nothing really to be done there. So we now have multiple ways to get supplies up over here. Looks good. So we're not really expecting a significant amount of action on this front, but we are expecting people to move around a lot. Okay, so that's all fine, and they're busily exhausting their manpower up over here. We're just slowly pushing in this direction with tanks. And that seems fine. What do we have for these unassigned divisions? Oh, look, tanks. So we're going to assign this tank unit here, and then these are going to be part of a new army. So we're going to need a leader for this, and that'll be this guy. And we'll get him being part of this offensive. There we go. So that looks good. And we still need more infantry out over this direction. We can actually loot this guy, and I'm going to do that. So we're going to get that in here, and then we'll grab 2 additional infantry divisions, and they're going to go there. Cool. Okay, so Fortress Buster sounds good, and this would be also Fortress Buster. Not bad there. I want to get the railway gun assigned over to the tank arm. There we go. So we see some successful attacks occurring out over here, and I want to check right now, how are we doing on our tank production? Oh, that's good. Down to 7K on our deficit. That's a very good sign. So now we've got our armies reorganized, and it's still going to be difficult for us to bring all of our armies to bear. But they have the larger numbers at this moment, right? Like, if we look at their deployed manpower quantities, we know that they have 5 to 7 million deployed, and we've got 2 million. So choke points are not bad for us at this moment. And we've done a lot of damage to these armies, actually. We're going to make progress. So that looks good. Is there any additional technology to research? Well, there's an additional technology to research. I think for now, though, we're just going to have to... Oh, we can grab this, I suppose. What else can we grab? We need special projects to finish up to get most of this at this point. So that's not terribly surprising. Okay. Well, we're going to continue to push through here. Yeah, this is going very well, actually. It's not fast, but it is going well. So at this point, if we look at the Ukrainians here, they've still got the Portuguese Company of the Moluccas. They've got Chaldea. Where's Chaldea? Out over here. Okay. They're not very relevant, I don't think. They've got Delhi, which... those guys are a bit relevant, but they can't get to us. We can't get to them. Aegean Islands, I don't care. Pasai, Ukrainian Senegal, Ukrainian Niger, and Ukrainian East Africa, which surprisingly is not capitulated. Oh, it's because of this. Yeah. Yeah, we can't get to that right now. For the moment, I think Abkhazia is the major threat right now. So they're at 414 to 500,000 in terms of manpower, but I think we can take down Abkhazia pretty quickly once we break through this area. Unfortunately, this is very rough terrain for us to push through. Once we get up into these plains and are attacking Ukraine proper, things are going to get a lot better for us. And then they're going to get worse again because we have a numerical disadvantage. So there's that. But for now, I'm actually very content with how this is going at this moment. We're about to get some progress here. And that seems good. So that's now good to go. We're definitely going to build some defenses here. And we're making progress over here now. So we're just about to make our way into Abkhazian territory proper. So this is Chaldea out over here as well. Noted. So we're going to have to take out everything that's over here. What's this fill-in look like? Oh yeah, that's basically that. Okay, cool. So that looks fine, and Ukraine's armies are just getting weaker at this moment. Now our manpower pool is absolutely dwindling, and that is a significant concern at this moment. But their manpower is a lot worse than ours. Regeneration rates are roughly the same. So once we're out of manpower, we expect the situation to degrade at a similar rate, but we'll have the advantage at that point because they'll have been degrading for a lot longer, right? That's the idea anyway. So as of right now, we actually are getting very close to cutting, well, I was going to say cutting this off. This is controlled by Ukraine up here. So this isn't going to be a full-on cutoff when we get this taken over, but it's actually, this breakthrough is very dangerous for them. I want to check the supplies as we push up over this way. Okay, this is a supply hub. So if we take this, that's fantastic. Remember, we're only attacking with our tanks right now. We are not attacking with our infantry at this moment. And a lot of our forces are being held in reserve due to supply limits. So that is absolutely understood at this moment. I do want to build here, and we will think about infrastructure if we need it. We don't. Okay. So that's noted. And we'll just continue to slowly push through here. Yeah, I'm content to just push for now. Keep in mind, we can always call a halt to the offensive if we feel like we need to. But at this moment, I feel like they're taking a lot more losses than we are. Indeed. So their casualties have been very significant, no doubt about that. Abkhazia has now taken 137k in casualties. So if we check in on Abkhazia out over here, they're at, yeah, they've dropped about 100,000 since we last looked. We've broken through in cars, and I want to check, is that a logistics hub? Hang on. It is not. Should it be? Honestly, kind of, yeah. Let's get started on some land forts there and a supply hub. Let's upgrade this to level 5, and then let's just place a rail line like that. I doubt it will be done before we're pushed through this area, but it will still be a useful thing potentially later on. Okay, so this is all looking good at this moment. Our tanks are definitely doing the trick here. Sure, that's irrelevant. And it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to hope to have pushed to this area. The main question is, can we get onto Crimea? Can we get off of Crimea up over this area? But that's not necessarily relevant because we can almost certainly push this way. So we will see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. Also, I just want to mention before I go here, take a look at this. 6235 with all of our tanks attacking. We are net positive on our tank production. That's good to see.